Okay, so far we've been assuming that oligopolies are going to compete, and that's true in many markets. Yeah, it does feel like, as we said, in the case for coffee, probably in the case of smartphones and so on, that these are quite competitive markets. But it's not always the case. Interdependence means that I can think about what the other person is doing, and we can start to realise that maybe competing isn't the best decision. And under those circumstances, we might collude. And collusion, it simply means acting together, for the benefit of one another, rather than acting for the benefit of consumers. There are two main types. Tacit, I'll come back to this subsequently, but tacit or unspoken collusion, where we don't have any formal agreement, we just act in one another's interests, or formal or overt collusion, where we actually do have an agreement. And we'll come back to that subsequently. But for now, why might firms want to collude? I mean, that feels kind of obvious, but it boils down to why do firms want to do anything? Which is they want to make more profit. So one reason, is to maximise profits. We know that the most profitable market structure in the industry is a monopoly. So a monopoly inevitably will be the most profitable market structures. Therefore, collusion allows firms to behave as if they are a monopoly. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, what is the monopoly price and output? And together we will agree, if we're going for kind of formal collusion, overt collusion, what is the right price and output for us collectively to set. Secondly, we could do it from a kind of game theoretical perspective, that what they're going to do is they're going to increase revenue. It's highly likely that the PD for the whole market, it's often inelastic when you take the whole market. If you take the market for petrol, for example, PD for petrol is inelastic, but PD for a brand of petrol is elastic. And you can therefore kind of just do it the way in which we've done game theory up to this point. We're going to go, I've got a choice of either high or low price, B has a choice of either high or low price. If we both go high, demand's inelastic. Let's suppose these are revenues now. Demand's inelastic, therefore, they both get a high return. If they both cut prices, if demand's inelastic, total revenue is going to go down. So we're going to end up at, say, 40-40. But what we do know is that if we decide to cut the price of our brand, demand is price elastic, so revenue is going to go up. So if A goes low, they end up at 150, and B ends up being screwed. Likewise, if B goes low, then B ends up at, say, 150, and A ends up being screwed. So the Nash equilibrium is going to be bottom right, because if B goes high, A goes low. If B goes low, A goes low. If A goes high, B goes low, 150 more than 100, and if A goes low, then B also goes low. So the Nash equilibrium is going to be bottom right, low, low. But obviously, both firms can see that the total market is inelastic. And if they were to collude, to fix prices, to drive prices up somehow, then they would both end up with more revenue, and therefore more profit. So second possibility, second reason for collusion, is to take advantage, of the ability to collectively drive prices up, and therefore, increase total revenue between us. A third reason, obviously, is competition can be quite expensive. So a third reason that we might want to collude, is to decrease costs. If we're not competing, then we might be able to cut quality. We don't have to introduce new innovations all the time. We might be able to cut our spending on research and development. Or we no longer need to, we can cut our expenditure on advertising. We don't need to compete through non-price means either. So, by colluding, we can cut our costs. And again, therefore, profit's going to increase. Fourthly, collusion can act as a barrier to entry. In some markets, firms have combined to drive out any new entrant by simply taking it in turns to undercut the price of the entrant. And that's been done in the airline market on a number of occasions, where the existing firms have successfully, in some cases, just driven out entrants, maintaining their combined monopoly power, and obviously sending a signal to other potential entrants that it's not worth it, because you're going to get put out of business. And the other point, lastly, is that collusion, what it does, we said that one of the characteristics of oligopoly is uncertainty. It's difficult to plan for the future. By having a formal agreement, or an agreement of some sort, with another firm, it can decrease uncertainty. If we've agreed between us what we're going to do, that makes it therefore easier to plan. We know what our profits are likely to be. It makes it more logical to invest or not to invest. But anyway, we can see what it is that's going to happen to us in the longer term. So therefore, in an oligopoly where firms are interdependent, it makes sense to respond to other firms, and maybe to kind of make the market more predictable, so that works for the benefits of all of us. That's where collusion comes in.